So, how should Roberto Martinez handle this Ronaldo's leadership saga and the emotional impact in the squad, knowing fully well that for so many years Ronaldo has literally been the captain and the leader of the squad in that team, taking him out of the team gradually? How do you think Martinez should handle that, Yemai?
I think that even Ronaldo himself has said this will be his last World Cup. So, facing the reality, he himself knows that it's gradually winding down. I think if Adeyemi has won the World Cup, I don't think he will still represent Portugal at 41 or thereabout, 40, 41 or thereabout. So, I think that him understanding that it's almost time to leave will make it easier for Martinez. And I don't think there's a big deal in the red card. It's just
More like
heat
media
of the
hype
moment.
or something.
It's just one of those
It's
things.
just for the press to sell and for people to make some headlines from that. And we wish Cristiano Ronaldo well as he sleeps in the cooler for the next two World Cup qualifiers or the next two FIFA games while he's waiting. Straight on, we go to Manchester United. Manchester United is in the news again. In this time around, we're looking at the player called Adeyemi Karim, playing for Borussia Dortmund right there in Germany. Karim's fallout at Dortmund could trigger a major move. Man U want a young, hungry, explosive talent, and Adeyemi fits the ball perfectly. So, is Adeyemi the right profile for the United's build-up, or is he another risky talent like the various risky talents they've got in recent years?
I think so. I don't think it's the kind of player they need at the moment, because you look at how they play and you wonder where he's going to play, because you have the likes of Ahmad, who is even being played out of position. Are you going to bring in Adeyemi now, Karim Adeyemi, and continue to play him out of position? Though he's a very good player, but I don't think it suits Manchester United at the moment.
But yeah, Mike, what do you think about this? Does this move signal United shifting towards youth first recruitment model? Because Adeyemi, we know, is 23 years old right now, and he's just getting, he's not even at his peak yet. And if United keeps looking at picking up young guys, is it like they're focusing on the youth and looking at the future plan?
First off, I think it's just a rumor. Second off, because I don't know why Manchester United we have Diallo, have Mbeumo, and still want to go for almost the same profile. It's like you're having too many of the same thing. So I think that most likely you might not go that route, but to the route of young players, that's where most clubs are going to now. They want to secure their future, and that's the way to go.
Right, so finally, I'm going to throw it back to you in the audience. Could Adeyemi actually transform United's attack, or does it need more time for development? Please put that in our comment section. Does it need more time, or is he willing or ready to transform United's attack and give them a favorable fighting position in the EPL and in Europe as well? You can put that in our comment section as we go on in the show. From a potential transfer shake-up in England to a full-blown chaos shaking the foundation of Turkish football. Oh my word, Turkish football. Let's take a little breather here. The Turkish football saga, did you see that coming at any point in time?
In football, impossibility is nothing. We've seen that era play out in the Syria, where they had those issues. So far, they are human beings. You'll be tempted by every opportunity you can get to make money. So it is what it is. It's just about the law enforcement officers to enforce the law, because human beings will keep breaching it. I won't be surprised if this happens in Premier League. So
wow, but that's a lot, really. Over 1,000 players have been suspended. So many referees, about 200 referees.
Yeah, it is what it is when it has to come to the fact that money will be made. Betting is billions in revenue maybe per month, maybe per year, billions of dollars. So when you look at that, kind of money coming into that industry, there will be a lot of eyebrows in it. And I think that manipulating scorelines, all those things, yeah, it happens in football. Is bad. We condemn it. It has no place in football, but it happens. We've seen it happen in Italy.
But it
We
happens
just
in
hope that
football.
the armor will come out on them.
Now, Paulo, how damaging is this kind of scandal to that league that is just developing a reputation?
I think it's very, very damaging because you look at the league itself. I don't think it's part of the Europe top 5 league.
It's
I
not.
think it's even rated. The last time I checked, I think number 20. But for them now, it's, you look at more especially the referees now. I don't think the referees from the Turkish league will be called to any UEFA competition or even FIFA now. You know, and it's why it's very damaging because you look at it, it goes from the first division, second division, third, even to the lower
lowest divisions.
It's not
It
just
cuts
about
across. It's like
cuts
a knob.
across. So I think the Turkish Federation needs to do, in fact, something about this and make sure that all the corporate, are brought to book. And it's not about favoring one set of people depending on their status, but they need to make sure they clean and all those players involved, if possible. Give them probably 10-15 years ban from football, and the referees they need to even jail those ones because I don't for them to even think of doing that because there's a report that there's one referee that has about close to 60 betting accounts. And
then he's blowing officiating matches.
Officiating games. So
isn't that something? I'm sure Yemaz is thinking here. What kind of measures should FIFA and UEFA take to prevent such corruption, Yemaz?
The laws are there. The laws are there. The preventions are there. But people will always want to find their way to
around
do what they want to do. But the thing now is let the armor come out. When the armor come out, they set a precedence that no, this is not accepted. And once some of them as their career can just end like that. Yeah. So that it will still a good signal. For
Okay. So I'm going to ask this before we wrap that segment. How long do you think fans will take to develop confidence in that league again? Let me take Paulo first.
Well, it depends on for probably the fans from the Turkish league. I don't think it will take long, because like the fans themselves, they are part of it because they also benefit. Yeah, some of those fans they benefit from all this. They some of them are aware, but the fans outside the Turkish league, like we. Or probably people from outside the part of the and the rest of the world. I think it's going to take a very long time, for us to trust them because what I'm saying this thing now. Anytime I look at a Turkish league match now and I see a scoreline, maybe 3-2, I'll say, oh, definitely there's something involved. That's just it. But for the people in Turkey, there it might not take long because I feel most of them or some of them are part of it.
The rackets. So let's just move on and hope that the Turkish or football authority will be able to do something definite and something remarkable to curb that evil going on in their football, causing so much scandal all over the world. So from the scandal to celebration, because African football is right now on fire. AFCON 2025 is here. The tickets have all sold out. Oh my God. And African fever is rising really fast. When tickets gone in record time. And then tournaments kicking off very soon in this coming December. AFCON 2025 is set to be one of the biggest football events of the year. And now, the question is, why does AFCON continue to grow in global influence compared to previous decades? AFCON has struggled to gain recognition and respect over time. What do you think African football, what's giving them the lights now, the impetus, the attraction?
I think is the improvement in the viewership. People countries in Africa now taking their leagues. You can easily see the South African league on a TV, you can easily get access to watch stream online. So people are getting more familiar with African football, not only in Africa, all around the world. Now the attention is improving. Now, Africans too also have some shining light in European football. The likes of Mohamed Salah, Victor Osimhen, and the like. So I think that has given the African game a facelift, and I think that they can only improve from that. And you have to give them a lot of credit for the Ivory Coast Nations Cup. They did a whole lot, and Morocco has enough infrastructure, enough infrastructure, and also structure on ground to actually do a lot better than what Ivory Coast did.
Right. So African football seems to be improving, and there's so much focus, so much light right there in Africa. And this particular edition, Paulo, 4 favorite teams.
To live
4 favorite teams
to leave the Nations Cup.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely Nigeria should be number 1 on the list alongside the host country, Morocco. There's also Senegal, who you can rule that, and probably Ivory Coast also. So those 4 nations, I think they will be the favorite, going into that.
How about Cote d'Ivoire?
Yeah, Ivory Coast. Yeah.
Cote d'Ivoire, Morocco, Nigeria, and Senegal.
Yeah,
mate.
Egypt
Any other
is also
addition?
in the
I thought you were going to
corner,
mention Egypt.
but I don't think Egypt have what it takes, overall to win this Nations Cup.
Okay, let's narrow it down to the last 2. You mentioned 4. What's your last 2?
My last 2 will be Nigeria and Morocco.
Is that because you're a Nigerian or because you're being critical?
Nigeria is a tournament team. No
Okay.
matter what they do in qualifier, even the team Nigeria has now is better than the one that went to the last AFCON, and they got to the final.
Okay, so
I think they should get to the final.
you don't think Senegal may make it to the final?
I don't think so. I think Senegal is in a shaky transition.
Wow. So you guys heard it from all over the world. We are thinking Nigeria is one of the favorites for this AFCON 2025 happening in Morocco. And the Rabat Stadium they're using right now for the playoff is going to be one of the host stadiums for that event. And Nigeria is already familiarizing. So also we expect Morocco to do so well. We expect Senegal to do well. And Cote d'Ivoire. And then maybe the Black Stars can come along somewhere. We'll see where we get there. And let's not push back or rule out South Africa. They have also been fighting for relevance in African football. What do you think?
I think if I was to mention 4, it would have been a tie between Senegal and South Africa. Because South Africa is on the horizon. They are doing the most of the right things about their football. And I think that maybe not win, but maybe get to the last 4 like they did the last AFCON.
Like the last 4. Now, Paulo, between Nigeria, South Africa, Morocco, and Egypt, which of these 4 nations seem to be improving from their academy through the ranks?
I think it's
2 of them.
2. I think it should be what they call them, Morocco and South Africa, because you look at how Morocco have been transitioning. You see young players also coming on, and they keep improving. You can't take any. In fact, Morocco now are rubbing shoulder with the likes of Brazil, Spain, and co. That's where they rank now at the moment. They look unstoppable at the moment, and you see the young ones also coming on and giving their best. And also South Africa, like he said, you look at South Africa in the last 4 or 5 years, you could see the way they've been gradually improving, and I think South Africa and Morocco are both countries. Now
let's talk about their infrastructure, because we're talking about African football here, and we know right now the African playoff for FIFA qualifiers is holding right there in Rabat, Morocco, and people have talked about the facility as one of the best in Africa, and that's not even better than the stadiums in Casablanca, the capital of Morocco, and that's not even better than some stadia we have in South Africa. So within South Africa, Morocco, Egypt, and shall I say West Africa? Yemi, what do you think, or which country do you think has the best infrastructure in terms of football?
Looking at the way they run the football, the support they get from the government, I think Morocco is better because South Africa profited from the World Cup they hosted. They, some stadia they had to build, so some structures erupted from that. It's different from Morocco that were intentional about football.
No, but Morocco has bidded for World Cup and they will be hosting in 2032.
No, the structure are on ground before the World Cup. South Africa, their structure was not completely on ground before getting they got the bid host right because they bidded, and Nigeria had to step down for South Africa. So many of the stadia were built for the competition. Right. Morocco has built stadiums on ground already, and they've not hosted the competition yet. So they have been intentional about investing in look at it, they are the champions of the world under 20. Look at it, they've broken the African jinx, entered the semi-final of the World Cup. So it is about being intentional about building their football. And you can't look rather than Morocco in Africa. Right?
Wow, so you can look further than Morocco if you're looking at the nation with the best development in football, as well as developing infrastructure for the future. So big ups to Morocco for doing that, and we just hope that other nations of Africa, Nigeria, the giants in football, as well as Ghana, who have been there.
This expression?
Oh, of course, supposedly giants in football. And then you talk of Ghana, those who have been at the World Cup, at quarterfinals, semi-finals. Maybe they can take a toll and take a look at Morocco and then try and add some value to their infrastructure. So we move straight from AFCON, and then we move on straight to Europe again, and we go straight to Barcelona, the Catalan city, and we're dealing with two major issues right there in the city of Catalonia. Lewandowski refuses to sign a new Barca deal. There is no contract. He's not signing a new deal. He wants to leave out his present contract, which expires at the end of 2026 window. By the fall of 2026, his contract will run out, and he's not signing a new one. And Lewandowski has rejected every effort made by the Barca board to sign something. And the January window is hitting up fast. There's so much rumors going on around about some calling him into Saudi, some nations calling him some big clubs in Europe. But is it the right time for Lewandowski to leave Barca in this window, this winter window coming? Paulo?
Well, I don't think he's going to leave this, winter. He might see out his contract, and leave. And you talk about, him not doing, not signing new contract. It depends on the kind of contract. He might be wanting more than 1 or 2 years, and Barcelona is offering him,
not just the 1 year, even the money.
Even the money itself also. And you look at him now, he's about like 37 years old.
He's 37, yes.
And if he should sign maybe 1 or 2 years, then by the time the contract expires, it will be like around 38, 39, 40. So there's a lot to play. He needs to take his time. This might be his last contract he's going to sign. He might even retire after signing. But I still feel he won't be leaving Barcelona this winter transfer window. He's going to see out his contract, but he might still sign probably 1 year extension if the right offer for him is being presented to him.
All right, so if he's not going to leave at the transfer window, let's say by the end of the summer break, which club can possibly realistically want to sign him based on his age as well as his wages?
I just think his pension at Saudi, you just get pension there.
But we hear rumors that some big European giants want to sign him.
I think it will just be a rumor, because I don't see, because if you look at the body language of the big teams now, they don't want to spend money. They don't want to put players on big wages. If you want Lewandowski on your books now, you have to pay. And we know the country that is paying. So I think, except maybe he doesn't want the harsh weather, or maybe he's just contented like Cruz and some other players. So I think that maybe it's time to cash out either the MLS or the Saudi League.
Or the Arabas. Now, the last question here is, do you think his refusal to sign another contract may be based on the kind of arrangement? Maybe Barca is giving him less time and he still has ambition to play more, and he doesn't want to play second fiddle. Paulo mentioned something like that earlier, right? Like the terms of contracts might not be favorable. Could it be because of the kind of offer? Maybe not finance, perhaps the time.
Realistically, all those things will come in between, because there's this unrealistic confidence people get in themselves. The reality is that he's 37.
Yes.
Now, it can't pace off with a 26 years old. And this is a competition whereby you need the best of the best. And I understand the fact that, yes, he's aging, but you have to look at the Barcelona books. They have to balance their books. It's one of their big wage earners. So there's a way that if he leaves, it will free up some space, and we know the challenge they're having with their wage limit. So
yes,
I think that it will be best for both parties to part ways, because Barcelona will not want to place that kind of a player on, because now it's about keeping one and letting go of the other. Now, if you are keeping a 37, 38, 39 years old player, you have to block out a young star.
True.
You have to block out maybe the next 5 years of Barcelona. Well, what will Lewandowski give after this season? It's not really clear. Even by January, he can begin. In fact, he's already declining. Forget the hat-trick he scored how many days ago. How consistent has he been in that form? So, right. And he's against Eche. What did you see him in their Clasico at all?
Yes,
these are the questions.
These are the questions, and if you have other issues or you have other observations about Lewandowski and the Barca deal, please put it in our comment section. Once again, gentlemen, ladies and fans and viewers, boys and girls all over the world, this is Premier Sports Fan Center, and we are here on Talk Sports. And in this edition, we have talked about a number of issues, and we're still on. Should you want to rewind at any point in time, you can just pull back, scroll back, and go listen to it again, and then comment on it, and then send it to Premier Sports Fan Center, and tell somebody about the page. Tell them to like our page on YouTube, on Facebook, and join us as well. Subscribe so you can get all our information right on time. And straight on we move from the old aging man to the young and up and coming one, Lamine Yamal. There's so much tension going on in Spain right now about this young man who has surrounded himself with so much controversies from very young. He had a lot of controversies trailing him. And just today I was reading about one old Barca player and a former coach of Barca advising him and said, look, the boy has so much skill, he can go so far, but so much controversies around him will pull him back. He's the one with the girlfriend issue, he's the one with the press issue, he's the one between Spain and the club issue, and he needs to shelve some of those things from himself. Now the issue here is are clubs right to protect the young stars from overuse by national teams, considering what's going on between Spain, the Spanish Federation, and then the Barca board trying to protect Lamine Yamal? Do you think it is right for the club to protect the boy and keep them away from national duties?
First of all, I would like to go back. I don't think we should be calling Lamine Yamal upcoming anymore. I don't think he's upcoming anymore. He's already a superstar. But if you ask me, the question, I think it is right for the club to protect their player, but it is wrong for the club to deprive the players from representing their national team, because they only play maybe 2 games during the FIFA window Whereas they go back to the club, they play more than 10 games before coming back. So for the national team to stop a player or telling the national team on how to use the player, I think is very wrong. They should just allow the national team to decide if they're going to play the player. And I don't think there's any national team that will want to intentionally put any of their player at harms or at risk of picking up injury. So the clubs should just allow the country, once there's FIFA international FIFA break, just allow the countries to take over.
Right, so we should just Barca should soften their pedal a little, and Spain rushing Yamal too quickly into full-time football, because whenever he's available, Spain uses him almost all through the 90 minutes, and until he gets injured, they barely substitute Lamine Yamal. Don't you think they're rushing the young man? He's just 18.
The thing now is Barcelona is actually trying to learn from the mistakes of Ansu Fati, because Ansu Fati was so promising. Too many games at a young age, injuries, the ACL is 50-50. You might go and not really come back to your real self. So Lamine Yamal, yes, he's a bright star, he's shining, but hey, if you overwork him, he might tire out at a very young age. So I think Barcelona is just trying to protect their investment, because they've invested a whole lot in the young man.
True.
Coming from La Masia and all those things, becoming a world star. But at the same time, he's a Spaniard, and we know the law of fever. So this back and forth is just beginning. This is how it will continue till maybe the twilight of his career, because so far it doesn't slow down. And when you look at it, the Spanish national team plays better with Lamine. Barcelona plays better with him. So it is the two they don't have a replacement for him. They don't have a player that will come in and show up the space and do what he does on the field of play. So what do you expect? So the back and forth will continue.
Okay, so do you think this could turn into a long-term club and country conflict?
I think it will. I think it will.
This is going to be a serious one.
Yeah.
Do you know what De La Fuente said this afternoon? He said we have Lamine Yamal for another 15, 16 years. Hey, don't worry, he's our boy. We have him for another 15, 16 years. We'll allow him this window.
And there's another thing. Barcelona might not have him for that long, because we don't know what happens with him.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But Spain has him. It's not going to change.
It's not going to. Exactly. I think that's what De La Fuente was trying to say, that look, he can change clubs, so he can't change nations anymore.
Yeah. So
right, so that's it, viewers and fans. You see, the saga we have, the issue we are facing here with Lamine Yamal is a tough one, and we think from the studio that it's going to continue to be a TikTok, a ping pong kind of encounter for a long time to come. So from rising stars in Europe to the giants, and let's talk about Champions League drama. Real Madrid and Liverpool. Real Madrid faced off the revamped Champions League phase format but delivered a hit. Liverpool defeated Real Madrid in a must-win battle in the last match day of the league. And that was a shock and kind of surprise. Does Liverpool's win prove that they're back big on the European scene?
I don't think the win proves that they're back. We saw them after the win against Madrid. They lost in the league against Real Manchester City. What that proves is that on a normal day they can still hold their ground. And it was a surprising result. A lot of people expected Madrid to defeat Liverpool, given the way Liverpool have been playing, in recent days. They've been losing back-to-back games, and they met Real Madrid, and you expect Real Madrid also to defeat Liverpool, but Liverpool actually turned the game around. So, but I don't think they are back at the moment. But it is the victory against Real Madrid proves that on their own day they can still hold their ground.
Right. So Yema, do you think from that defeat does it show that there's a lot of crack in the Madrid fabric, talking about their strength right now?
Looking at Real Madrid, from the beginning of the Alonso era, we've seen that they've been shaky. They've not
But
really.
they lost just one match.
It's not about losing. It's
They
about
had
the
a
way-
draw and a loss.
Yes, but
And they won 10 games.
they've lost 2 now, because one in the Champions League, one in the league.
No, I'm talking of La Liga.
La Liga, yes. But see, when you look at the way Madrid play, I think the one game that they've really convinced me about this thing is the El Clasico. The other games, they've not been that fully convincing. They just do enough to win. They just do enough to win. And when you look at it, the fact that El Clasico came some games into the season is the fact that they are beginning to gel more. And when they are gelling more, yes, they have setback, but they can still go back up and do the needful. So I think that Real Madrid will come back stronger. Nothing to worry about. Alonso is in charge.
Right. So, now, how do fans feel about this new UCL format? Is it better than the former group stage, or is it the same of the same? You know, we ran this last year, and is it acceptable? Does it look good enough?
I think that when you look at the reason why they did it, the reason is simply they want to see more competition from the group stage. More big teams go head to head and provide viewers something to savor, and it's doing the job. We've seen Chelsea, Bayern Munich in the group stage. We've seen Liverpool, Real Madrid, and we've seen Barcelona, PSG. We've seen Barcelona,
PSG.
We've seen
PSG,
Bayern, PSG.
Yeah.
So these fixtures don't come like that in the former settings, and what they've achieved is more viewership, more hunger to see the game, and I think it's working.
Right, so we think it's working from here. So kudos to UEFA for that change, and finally an inspiring football moment to finish this talk. Epic comeback. 37-year-old Lewandowski. You know, we just spoke about Lewandowski being aging, and he's told the headlines in the last league match for Barca at 37. He scored a sensational hat-trick, and age is just a number, isn't it, for this guy? So what does Lewandowski's longevity say about his evolution of football fitness? At 37, still scoring a hat-trick.
I think one of the most deceptive word in history is that the age is just a number. It's a serious deception.
You mean age is real?
It's real.
It's real. So you might be saying age is real, guys.
Age is real. I was telling a friend a few days ago that, bro, what you were doing in your early 20s, you can't try that in your early 30s. Most of it, you can't just do that. So age is real. It's not just a number. Then going to Lewandowski, fine wine aging graciously, but he's still aging. So I think that, yeah, he got an hat-trick against Elche. Fantastic. Congratulations to him. But what about against Barcelona? Atletico de Madrid. The defenders that will stretch you, young, vibrant. We saw yesterday the playoff. Look at it, was obvious that Aubameyang is way older.
Yes, aging.
Look at how
the aging was very, very obvious.
Look
it was just Frederick that checked him out.
Not just Frederick is informed, but if it was a younger Aubameyang, it would have been a hell of a match yesterday.
Yeah, I agree with you. Absolutely.
So age is not a number, it's reality.
Age is reality. So Lewandowski, well, continue to age finally, you know. But how many modern players do you think above their 35 years of age will be doing what Lewandowski is still doing? Can you just mention like 3 or 4 that are
at the moment
in their prime? Yeah, playing right
I
now.
think Kane will do.
Harry Kane, yeah.
Harry Kane is 34, so is it 35
Yeah,
yet? It's 34.
34.
No, we're talking of those who are past 35 already.
Past
Okay, who are
35 already?
Yes.
past 35 already? Cristiano Ronaldo is doing it.
Yeah, but that's extraordinary.
Yeah,
And he's not
Messi.
playing in the highly competitive league anymore.
Olivier Giroud is doing
It's
it.
not in any competitive league, and I
Lille.
think he's even a
Is
coach
Lille.
already.
He's playing Lille.
Yeah.
He's the
Lille.
top man for Lille. in
He's
the
a
French
coach
league.
player now.
No, he's the top man at
But-
38.
But I don't think he's scoring hat tricks.
No.
But he's scoring goals. No,
okay.
if you look at Lewandowski scoring hat-tricks, how many does he have?
No, but Lewandowski has scored a lot of goals in Barcelona between his 35 and 37.
I think he came in at 30,
35 plus.
35 plus.
Exactly.
and Barcelona invested 50
And last season
million.
he won so much. He won the Copa del Rey, he won the La Liga, and he got himself to semi-finals. And he was a contender for Pichichi. I think he won the Pichichi
So
for last season.
what I'm saying is this.
So how many players? Let's talk about the players.
I've
You mentioned Giroud.
Olivier Giroud.
Okay.
I mentioned Thiago Silva.
Silva.
Thiago.
Yes, he's still playing till his
Is he a
40s.
striker?
Are you mentioning? Are we mentioning?
Yes, we're talking of goal poachers here. Goal poachers. And then how about Karim Benzema? Karim Benzema is in Saudi, but Saudi is not. But I think Karim Benzema is still doing well where he is. But he's not good enough to be called by France.
He's playing in Saudi, and you have Kylian Mbappe. It's about who is competing with you. At Poland,
So it
who
is what it is.
who is even close to
Ronaldo
him?
is still playing in the Portuguese.
That is Ronaldo, because Ronaldo is one of the top 5 greatest players. They are different. That's why when I mentioned him, you said he's different.
Yes,
so you can't mention him in this one, so I not say it's different.
Okay. So let's leave Ronaldo out.
Benzema, will you play Benzema ahead of Mbappe?
Definitely not.
Yeah, so that
Definitely not.
There's Colomwani. Those guys are on fire in their mainstream.
But those guys are young. Those guys are young, 20s.
Yeah, so you can't just
Ramos.
say that you call Karim Benzema and you bench those guys. The fans won't let you rest.
All right, so guys, you heard it right there. Lewandowski is still doing his magic, and not so many players can be mentioned who can compete with him at that age in Europe right now. We tried searching, we couldn't find much, who are competing at that age, top level, and that's actually that. You have any other additions to make on that? Please put it in our comment section. We'd love to read from you. We would love to see you right in there. We'd love to see you at our page, and we'd love to see you also being part of the broadcast. This is Premier Sports Fan Center once more, and this is Talk Sport. And this week we have been able to talk about certain issues and certain players and certain nations, and we're so glad from the studios that Nigeria won the match they played yesterday, and because of our affiliation with Nigeria, definitely would like to see Nigeria win again on Sunday. We're wishing Nigeria the best of luck on Sunday against Congo.
You can catch us right here.
You join us on the studio, in the studio for that match. Premier Sports Fan Center, just click and be part of it from 10 minutes before the match until after. We'll be running commentary on that. Now let's talk about Sunday. Nigeria, Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC.
Yeah. It's going to be a very tough one. It's a final. It's a winner take all now.
Yeah,
so
winner takes all.
Winner take all, and so Nigeria needs to do better, and improve, because we saw the last game that was against Gabon. The first half we dominated. We could have gotten 2-3 goals, but we couldn't take our chances.
We're not clinical in front of goal until the extra time.
No, the second half, we were gifted the goal, because the first goal we scored was actually a gift. A back pass from the Gabon player to what's his name again? Adams, who ran the
latched on it.
So for us, we need to be clinical, and we are playing against a very good team also, DR Congo. I was in the studio here and I was telling the anchor that I would prefer, I told him that DRC will defeat what they call them now, Cameroon.
And they did.
And you look at the kind of players they have. They have young players.
And they waited until the last minute. And choked them.
It was
92 minutes.
It was a
man, it would have been painful.
It was.
They shouldn't do that in Nigeria.
It was a careless goal to concede.
No, but come on, they were playing. Anybody can concede.
I think they were even the better
more.
team overall in that game.
They had better chances.
See, DR Congo was a better team.
Yeah.
So when I saw
Nigeria on Sunday, DR Congo, Nigeria,
it's going to be tough because Ndidi is out. And that's the.
Is he out injured?
No, suspended. He got a yellow card yesterday. So
that's one painful news that came from the camp, that Ndidi will not be playing that match. I think they were so composed because Ndidi was managing that anchor, the pivot position so perfectly.
So well. And
doesn't the Eagles have a replacement for Ndidi?
I think Onyeka can do something
I
there,
doubt
but
it.
not like Ndidi.
How about Hassan?
He can.
Is Hassan in the squad?
Ndidi was not in the AFCON. And Onyeka was the one that did the job.
But Hassan was there. Hassan played a very, very important role. Abdullahi Hassan.
First 2 games or thereabout.
No, he was in and out.
He got injured in and out. Was not steady again.
I think he got injured at the quarterfinals.
The guy in that midfield during the Nations Cup was Onyeka, and Onyeka is fit.
And even the last game, when he was introduced into the game, he did a very fantastic job.
And he was the one who got the winner against Benin, so he will do a good job.
Right, so Nigerians, don't lose faith and don't drop your heart yet. He said Ndidi is out, so he feels it's going to be tough. But we have Onyeka there, we have Nwobi, and we have a lot of other players. Adams, Onyedika is also there. We also have Azan in the back room. We also have some other players. Adams is also there. And we still have Lukman, who does a yeoman's job when given the opportunity. And you can see Moses Simon put in his best yesterday, and you have Osimhen. Osimhen lost a lot of chances, but he came back and redeemed himself, scoring a brace, and his 29th, 31st goal for Nigeria. Yeah. Just a few more goals, about 4 or 5 goals from Rashidi Yekini, and then it will be Nigeria's all-time highest goal scorer at just the age of 27.
I think he is going to really extend that record, not just break it. It will really extend it to a very, very
I'm actually thinking Osimhen is a phenomenon for Nigeria. He joined the Super Eagles at 19. And within 19 and 27, he has broken almost all scoring records, except Rashidi Yekini's scoring record.
Yeah, and he's I think this most likely
this
score on
AFCON.
Sunday.
By AFCON, I expect him to
have
go
that
over.
record.
And that will be fantastic. So viewers, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us and thank you for hanging with us. Please keep your faith and stand by Nigeria. Team Nigeria should be repped and put everything on Nigeria. We should win that match. Like we say, Nigeria, no tension. We are winning by the grace of God. So Nigerians, no tension. We are winning. All right, we're taking this and we're going from Africa to the Caribbeans and the Oceania, and we're going to get that ticket to the World Cup. Don't worry, don't lose faith. Let's keep believing. That is the spirit of Nigeria. And that wraps up today's explosive episode on Talk Sports. From Ronaldo's stunning record to AFCON fever to transfer chaos, betting scandals, UCL shocks, and also the timeless events around the legends of Lewandowski and the career that never seems to sleep. Don't forget to like, to share, and to tell a friend, and drop your answers or questions or queries in our comment section. On YouTube, on Facebook, Premier Sports Fan Center. You're not going for Premier Sports Fan Windows. Neither are you going for Premier Sports Fan Stadium. No, Premier Sports Fan Center. That is the logo. That is the name of our page. Drop it in there, and we will love to respond to your comment. We'll love to get back to you. See you at the next episode, Apollo. Thank you for coming, and Yemite, thank you so much for coming to the studio. Any final words?
Yeah, looking forward to the game coming on Sunday, and I expect wishing Nigeria the best of luck on that day.
Yeah, all hands on deck for Sunday. We can't wait.
All hands on deck. And yes, the pilots have spoken, the captains have spoken, everybody is on deck. We are not going to sleep. We're going to be on the mat for those who stay on the mat. We're going to be on the mountains for those who stay on the mountains. And those who like to shout it out, keep shouting Nigeria out. Rep Nigeria. See you at the next episode of Premier Sports Fan Center. Talk sport. Stay passionate and stay football. Until then, my name remains Yinka Adebuyi. They call me the doc around here. Until we say bye-bye for now.